03. Okay, let's have a recap. What topic we discussed in last Sunday? So we have started the group policy topic, right? We understood
Yes.
how do we see that console of the group policy, GPMC.MSC, and how do we create a policy, right? And what is the hierarchy of the applying the policy, which is LSTOU, local site domain in OU. And we have created a one policy, which is wallpaper. How do we enable and how do you create a policy? So we understood the policy will be applying for the end result. It would be either computer or user. And basically, whenever we want to configuring, the policy would be in a computer configurations or user configuration, right? So we understood how do we create a policy, what are the default policy, what are the default domain policy or the default domain control policy. And basically all the policies are computer configuration for not a user configuration. And policy cannot be applied on entire forest. Policy can be deal with only in a domain wide. Okay. So we discussed default domain policy and we discussed default domain control policy. And what else? We understood what is the process of that is in LSTOU, and we understood what I mean by inheritance of the policy and what I mean by block inheritance of the policy, what I mean by enforcing the policy, and we understood block inheritance of the policy. And we understood how do we check the policy, which is a policy result, GP result space /R, right? And what are the policy, how do you get exported and to see the report of the policies. So we have begin with the group policy topic. We need to talk about a couple of basic things we have discussed. Basic group policy we have discussed, correct? Policy discussed. Any doubt in this? Any question? How to create a, this is the most important topic as I said last week, right? How to create a group policy, how to configure group policy, right? Basically these are the important, right? And we checked that is how to check result of group policy, and basically you must create a policy under GPO, create a policy under GPO and then test it. Then you need to link where you want to production, where you need to link OU level or domain level or domain control level, If required, sometime it is policy can be linked on site level. This is also possible. Okay, it depends on the requirement. You need to link the policy. Right? We created a policy which is a wallpaper, and we understood, right? And we also discussed about how do we restrict, how do we filter, or security filtering, right? Security filtering policy. It is if we apply the policy on top level and I don't want the policy apply that. So with the help of the security filtering can be applied, can be created. You need to create a group, okay, and then you have to be either you need to allow or deny the policy, right? So these are the basic things we discussed. We need to talk about today a few things on group policy for advanced level. Advanced level group policy. It's the most important again for the system administrator L2 and L3 above. Okay. Till now, just we discussed, we begin the journey of the group policy. Okay, when we open the group policy console, let me start my lab. Anyone has any question before we moving to uh, the advanced group policy topic? Register. Jahir, you are the first class? How
Yeah,
much?
Neil. This is my first class.
Okay, have you got the recorded session?
Yes, as I got the record session, I have go through the record session.
Very good. Fantastic. Any question on that? Anyone has any question? Akhilesh, Jahir, Jason, Register. Have you guys are uh, walking through that video and doing the lab which we
Yes, yes.
discussed?
Yeah.
Yes, Neil.
Good, good. Okay. Okay. So today's topic is little more important because it's a day-to-day operations interview point of view and actual operations work to handle in a right manner. We must understand that the what are the possibilities to solve the issue. Most of the people are not aware about. Most of the people are having lack of skill and group policy. It is important topic actually, and is a critical functionality in Active Directory. Who has knowledge on this group policy? He is a, I would say, is a good administrator, and you can crack the interview easily if you explain in the during interview confidently I'm good on group policy. If you say like that word, right? So there is a more weightage on your discussion. This is a more powerful requirement in operations because maximum people are not aware about, and even though they have a lot of confusion, they have skill on this. But I am clearly explained you how do you understood the group policy concept to manage. Right? Basically, it is not handled in a single user. It would be handling for the multiple user to look into that. Okay, give me a minute. Sorry guys, I'm back. So I was explaining you the group policy topic is most important. So just concentrate, and it will help you to you know increase your confidence level of supporting. So who has knowledge in 2 years, 3 years doesn't matter. So let me power on my machine, then we can show you that reason. So what topic we are going to talk about today? We must understand what is fine grained password policy. This is one of the important. And the second one is we will talk about in the group policy advanced, you can say group policy applications. Number 3, group policy definition files. Okay. And actually it is not required, but I'll explain you how that is software installation of using group policy. Okay, but nowadays no one is using for in this using group policy to install the software. Okay, but we should know that sometime in 3 questions you should say just I know that. Okay, and we will talk about some group policy. Sysvol folder update. Okay, these are the topic is the most important in advanced level group policy. Good to go. Anyone has any question before I move into?
No need.
All good. Okay, just concentrate, guys. I think everyone is fresh. You had finished your breakfast and everything. So these topics are most important. As I said, you can update in your profile, working on group, working on system administrator day-to-day work, or you can say working on group policy concept, right? Group policy work. So that will be more weightage on your profile. Okay. I'm just connecting to my machine, then we can discuss one by one. All right. Have you heard about anyone? What is meant by fine grained password policy? Have you heard about?
No need.
What is
No.
it for fine grained? Is one of the most important. Okay, remember this. I'm just looking for the. Okay. Now you can see by default there is a password policy, right? You know that already, correct? Default we have password policy, correct? This password policy is already configured and linked to domain policy. Linked to domain, correct? When you go to the default domain policy, you will be able to see that password policy settings, which is your all password length, complexity, where you can see here, right? Password character, how many characters required, length is required, and complexity is required. If I want to change the password, just simple 123 or ABC, can I do it? If I want to reset the
No,
password now, I want to reset the password, just simple 123. Can I? It is not possible.
no,
Why?
We have to. We can change in policy.
Sorry.
We can change the password policy and then we can set this one to be an ABC, right?
If you change the password policy, it will be impact for everyone, correct? It will be applicable for everyone. Agreed?
Yeah.
So this is a compliance related, right? So password, we always, that everyone compliance would be strong. Password would be the strong. Password not being easily detectable or easily identifiable, right? So there is all security reasons and compliance point of view. Everyone agreed that is in password would be strong, password would be length, password would be complexity, password would be not repeatable or easy to like password 23, your data or something, right? So when you go to the default domain policy, if you go to the setting, and basically password policy would apply on a computer, remember. So maximum people says answer for the user. Password policy is not applied for user, it is a computer. Okay, so now if you go to the setting for the default domain policy, right? I'm talking about default password policy, right? Before we talk about what you mean by fine-grained password policy, let's understand we have that already default password policy, which is minimum password length would be 7 character. Password must be complexity requirement is enabled, right? And maximum password age would be 42 days. Enforce the password history is a 24 password recommended, remembered, right? And account lockout in threshold is also be 0 invalid. And you might observe in your office, people are attempting the multiple password multiple time and account would be locked out, correct? Then they will be calling to the help desk or support team, please unlock my account. Rather than calling them, what you can do, you can set some time, okay, auto unlock the account. So there is a options are there, you can do it, we'll talk about. Now, if you change the setting here, something you don't want to complexity or you want to change the character and everything, so it would impact for entire or it will be applicable for the everyone, because since it's a default domain policy and if it changes on these settings in this group policy, it will be applicable for everyone. But it's a very difficult to manage, right? The use cases will come now. Use cases will come now, or there is a head office or there is a top leadership sending an email to you. Please allow me. Please allow me. There's a requirement I'm talking about. Allow me only to provide access to change the password. Simple. Okay, don't allow me, don't tell me that is in password would be complexity, password would be a character, like that. Just allow me only whenever I am going to do that 1 2 3, it should acceptable. So that is only one of the top leadership, say for example IT department. IT department, we want to allow them to change a password policy, change a password simpler. Just understand here, it's only ITTM I'm talking about. Either single user can be possible, either particular group can be possible, but only specific people you want to allow them to change a password, simpler level. Since this password policy is already linked to the domain policy, and this password policy cannot be customized. Password policy cannot be customized individual user when it was a 2003 environment. Okay, remember, custom password policy cannot be possible when it was 2003 environment. So many people are compliant to the Microsoft, and this is a more demand has come to the from the users and use cases. What Microsoft has did from Windows 2008 onwards, R2 onwards, they bought into the new feature called as a fine-grained password policy. Okay, there is a new feature implemented in group policy, use the fine-grained password policy, which can be used custom password policy. But how to do? We are not disturbing a default domain policy, but we can custom the password policy to change individual whoever requested. There is a separate settings has been configured from in a Windows 2008 onwards, and we will be continuing with the same feature in all the upcoming operating system, which is 2012, 2016, 2019 as well. Now, how do we do that? Now, if I go to the server, if I go to the dsa.msc, I'll go to the IT team. Bangalore IT team, right? And if I want to change this password, simple reset password, if I give that is in 123, not possible, correct? As of now, it's not possible. So what it says here, Windows cannot complete the password change for this because the password does not meet the password policy requirement. Check the minimum password length, password complexity and password history requirement because the password policy has been enabled. Now the requirement come to us. You need to allow me that is in to provide the password or reset the password simpler 123. So without disturbing the domain policy, how do we allow these people, custom people or individual people to change the password simpler? You need to go to basically what you need to do the steps. If the multiple users are there, then you need to create a one group. Example, if the multiple people are there, like custom password policy you want to be enabled, create a one group, say custom password policy. Okay, and you need to add those users whom you want to be added. Okay, you need to add the user whom you want to be changed. As of now, I'm going to add only one user, which is BNGIT 001. Right? I have added. Now this group only we want to manage it. How do? You need to go to the server manager. We're not disturbing for the existing policy. We are just configuring the custom policy. This all process we called as a fine-grained password policy. Active Directory Administrative Center, you need to go there. Here, you need to go to the your domain local. Now you can see, go to system. There is a password setting controller. Options called as a password setting controller. Double click this. Now you can see this new password setting. So what you need to do here, these are all settings are there, right, by default. So we don't want to do anything. Enforce I don't want. Enforce I don't want. Password must complexity I don't want. I don't want anything. So your requirement is to allow them to simpler and take the trace. You don't want any of the more character. Okay, you can give that is in custom password policy. You can say precedence. Precedence means what? Is a by default policy will be take higher precedent, and if you want to take a first this one, you can give the higher precedent as a 1. First is going to check this, and then it will take the later for the password default password policy. Now you can mention the description due to the exception approval, because this kind of changes cannot be done in a production environment as security reason. Some exceptions case are with having all approval, and that number is can update it. We are changing or we are customizing. Custom password policy, customizing password policy. Right? And whom you want to be applying, you can see this is scroll down here. You need to add them. Click on add here. We just created one group. You can add that custom password policy. Click OK. Then this group only you are applying. You're applying this one, and this group it will not take the policy which is coming from the policy, right? You just, it is done, configured, close it. Okay, now I can refresh it here. I didn't click OK right here. So let's once again. You can give that is in custom password policy. Uncheck everything. And you can mention this is precedence is 1. Depends on your office, right? So such requirement come to you that you want configuring, you can ask what would be the precedence, can I give 1 or 2? It's basically higher priority is going to take a first group policy. Second, it will take the custom password policy. No, I don't want to higher percent for this one, then you can provide the 1 or 2 number. Now you can see exceptions case, providing custom description actually, okay, password policy. Now you need to add whom you should be. Okay, custom. And you have to click it. Okay. Okay, now you can see there is a custom policy has been created here. Now which group we have added? Only that is a custom group policy we have added, and in that group over their user, that user would be applicable. Nothing to changes in the group policy, no need to disturb anything. Now you can go back to the IT, go back to the user, you can reset the password now. 1, 2, 3 should be able to enable. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Password has been changed. Did I disturb anything for my policy?
No. No.
Right. So if you disturb the policy in a domain level, it would be impact for everyone, right? Correct. If I disturb something settings in a domain level, it would be impact for everyone, right?
Yes.
Right.
Now if I go and check the second username, do I able to reset the password for 1 to 3?
No.
Good one, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So please, you need to understand for this. There is a question will ask in interview. Can I make it custom password policy? Usually I had asked question in the interview. Okay. Who are all L2 and above. So few people who actually worked on the environment, they can able to answer, but some people are fresher, or some people are only going through the document of the without having a knowledge on practical, so they won't be. How do I do the custom password policy and how do I implement it? You can see this. This feature was not there in a 2003 server environment. Later, this feature came from 2008 R2 onwards, and now keep on continue with this.
I have a question. I mean, passwords are stored in. I mean, the password are. Can domain the admin guy can see the passwords? No. Right?
No one can see the password.
No one can see the password.
If anyone can see the password, then where is the security, sir?
Yeah, right.
But domain admin have a rights to reset the password.
I have one more question. Yesterday, I was talking with my friend. He told me that he just joined the HCL company in Noida. He told me that he got the laptop and he needs internet connection to log in the laptop. I mean, how it works. And he was saying that some VPN is need to connect with some VPN,
Correct.
then only you will be able to
Correct.
log in. I mean,
Correct.
what kind of process is that?
So basically, when your laptop is connected to public network, right? Laptop is connected to your home network, internet, right? Getting? So it's a home network, your internet, right? It's in a public. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So you want to access your office environment, office network. All it's in a secure environment, right? It's a secure and private, right? So in this scenario, company has did, how do I access my office resources in a private network? So they have created their own network. They have created own network with the help of VPN, which is called as a virtual private network. Right? They must be provided some dial-in options, or in a software would be there, Cisco software. I think.
I mean, he was saying that he cannot log in locally.
No. So he can able to log in locally, not required, right? He should be able to log into the domain only, domain user, right?
Yeah, he was saying that that local profile is not created, only remote profile is they create.
Obviously, local profile won't create it. It's office laptop, right? Office laptop cannot create a local. He will not be able to log in local user. He should be able to log in with a domain user, right? Active directory user. Local account, nobody has the access, or nobody will be logged into the local. If you log into the local user, then it won't manageable, that one. So this domain user, when you logged in, it must be created profile. If he's not creating this domain user profile, then he has to check for if he's connecting to the office network, virtual private network, and then only it's going to sync with the your shared drive where you have configured. Okay, say for example, now this user, right? This user, when you have go to the properties, if you go to the profile, okay, you must provide the path, right? The path would be providing whatever you are once you logged in your laptop, automatically the profile will create. Okay, with your name, with
I have one more question. In profile path, can we give OneDrive location? I mean, profile path means all the
cannot be
settings.
OneDrive location. It would be a shared drive path. I mean, share path. Don't give the OneDrive because it's going to be public again, right? The OneDrive, when you give the OneDrive or Google Drive, it will be public. But recommendation is give to the one of the file server. Like you might have seen that // say for example, this is my server name, server DC1 example, DC1, DC01 / you can say profiles. Now inside it will be creating a bng underscore it underscore 001 like that. So don't give the OneDrive path here.
Okay.
Clear? You getting my point? What I'm trying to explain?
Yeah.
So these are all, I think, out of sync you are asking. If need, I'll take you that one topic called as a profile. How do you configure here? Operations activity.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So now understood for this, how do we configure the, what do you mean by find and password policy? How do we configure? What is the purpose we are going to use?
So currently people are using Intune or I mean for policy as well, right?
Yeah, I see. When you go to the cloud, right, there are a lot of options are there. But since we are in administrator on active directory environment, so we should aware about this. Sometime there's a self password reset also is available in cloud Azure. They will not be coming to us, so directly they can change a password. How we are doing in a banking portal and other, right? Once password expired or something, password you forget, they will allow you to forget password options, click, and there it will redirect it to the some identity, some secure questions will ask. If the secure questions are passed, then they will allow you to reset your password. Hope you guys are use this portal, right?
Yeah, right.
Like that, you have the cloud-based applications.
Okay.
Good to go?
Yeah.
All right. So this is all about the find and password policy. Okay. Let's talk about second topic called as a group policy replication. This is one of the most important topic. Okay. What I mean by group policy replications here? Now, as I said, the group policy will deal with the entire domain, right? This is my domain. And I have one site here, to domain controller. I have another site here, to domain controller here. I have another site, to domain controller. Just understand the use case and scenario. It would be easy to understand for you. This is a BNG location, and this is a CHN location, and this is a HYD location, Hyderabad. So in this BNG locations also has ITT, CHN also has ITT, and Hyderabad also has ITT, right? Now there is a requirement come to you. You have created a OU called as a here in a BNG IT, right? BNG underscore IT. And you have created here CHN underscore IT OU. And Hyderabad also you created, right? HYD IT. Now, under this BNG IT, we have around 10 users. Here also I have that is in 5 users. And here I have 6 users, example. Right? There is a one policy you created. Just 1 minute. Yes, sorry, I'm back. So what we can do, can we take a quick break? If you don't mind, then we can talk about this important topic after the break.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be good, right? So it's a 10:50 now. Come back 11:05, then we can talk about. Okay, yeah. So the most important topic in group policy, it's the replications. Okay, whenever we are talking about the troubleshooting point of view, the policy is not applied. How do we troubleshoot and how do we check it for the replications? As we discussed, there's a one domain. We have a 3 sites, and we have a couple of users on respective OU, so respective location, and we have created OU, which is BNG IT, CHN IT, Hyderabad IT, and we have a respective users, 10 users, 5 users, and 6 users. Now, you have created a one policy, and you linked to, you have created a policy for for IT team, okay, for IT team, and the policy should apply to all IT team, okay. The policy for all, doesn't matter which site you are in, it is applicable for the all IT team, okay. So what you did, instead of linking a policy to BNG OU, CHN OU, and Hyderabad OU, you linked it to the directly domain, right? You link the policy to the directly domain. If you apply the policy domain, obviously everyone should get policy applied. Yes or no? So all IT
Yes.
team should apply the policy, correct? Now, what you did here, you have created a policy on BNG, one of the domain controller. You have created a policy, one of the domain controller, and linked it to domain, correct? Linked it to domain. Now, if I go and see, if I go and check the another site domain controller, GPMC.msc, I should be able to see the policy what I created in Bangalore. Yes or no? You getting my question? I have created a policy in a BNG domain controller here and linked it to domain. If I go back to the Chennai location domain controller, if I see the policy what I've created should be get updated or not, and the policy get updated or not in Chennai, I can see that the same policy in other domain controller. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So
But
default,
we
remember,
created the group now on that user only.
No, we not created group. We created group policy.
Yeah, we created the group policy and add the users now. So how it will affect all the users.
Users, it is a respective location, okay, respective department to manage our administration. Instead of applying the policy to individually, what I did, I apply the policy on domain, right? And once you apply the policy on domain, by default, it will should applicable to these people, and these people. But I have created a policy on Bangalore domain controller and a link to domain. So automatically, it should get updated to CHN domain controller and Hyderabad domain controller policy also. When you go into GPMC.msc, you can able to see the policy, what you have created on Bangalore domain controller. Remember, within a domain, whatever policy you created, whichever domain controller, it must be replicated by default to all the domain controller. It should show automatically. How it is, let's see here. You got the picture? You got the concept here? Anyone has any question in this? This is important topic, okay? This is L3 level. We should understand the replication, how it's going to happen.
Okay, so you are saying that you apply it to the link to the domain.
Correct. Apply the domain, and when I go and see the another domain controller policy, it should get updated. It means the policy has to be able to see. Policy has to be able to see here. Okay, let's show you in a practical how it is. Now I am in a location called BNG. Okay, the DC one. What is the domain controller here? You can see dsi.msc. Okay. So we have a BNG, CHN two sites are there, right? So we'll validate. We'll create a policy on Bangalore. Okay, here is a Bangalore. We have a 2 domain controller. And we have Chennai, we have 1 domain controller, right? So also we have in a Bangalore, IT department here, BNG IT department are there, OU created and users are there. Also I'll go to, sorry, Chennai. What is my Chennai IP address? So let me take this Chennai location. This is a public IP address, copy. Since all the domain controller are in same domain, okay, remember, each domain doesn't matter how many domain controllers are there, all the domain controllers should replicate at each other. This is a concept. Okay, it doesn't matter, it is in a group policy, it's an OU, it's an object, everyone should be get replicated, each domain controller. Now I am in Chennai domain controller. Here in this domain controller, I have already created 1 OU. You can also see the OU, 1 more OU in Chennai domain controller. Go to the ds.msc. Here we created 1 CHN and is also IT there, right? That is the users are there. Now, I'll go to the Bangalore domain controller. I'll create a 1 policy. The policy would be control panel disable for IT, example. Okay, control panel not accessible. Okay, control panel restrict. Okay, control panel restrict. So how do you do that? Let's create a policy. Go to the DC1 group policy object, new. Okay, I'll say all IT control panel restrict. Okay, I am creating a policy on Bangalore domain controller, and I am going to, now you can see there is, I can able to see that all the BNG OU and CHN OU. Okay, instead of linking the policy BNG and the CHN, I will do link the policy and directory domain. So let's configure this. All IT control panel, edit. User configuration. Windows setting. Administration template. Control panel. Okay. You can see here. Prohibit access to the control, right? Prohibit access to the control panel. So enable it. Now, whoever users is logged in, Bangalore user, sorry, IT users is logged in, that control panel access must be restricted, correct? Is a prohibit access control panel PC setting. Exit this and come back here. Open this control panel restrict and setting, close. Now you can see it's a user configuration is a prohibit access control panel restricts enabled. Now I have not linked the to anyone. As I said, instead of linking to the BNG IT, CHN IT, what I will do, I will link to the directly domain, correct? I don't want to link to the BNG. I don't want to link to the CHN. I will go to the directly link existing GPO and all IT control panel restrict. It's clear? I link the policy here. I created a policy on Bangalore, right? Domain controller and link to the domain and say GP update force. Now question was asked, if I go and log into the Chennai domain controller, can I see this policy there? Can I see this policy here? Go to the GPMC.msc. I'm in Chennai domain controller, CMD, host name, CHNDC, right? GPMC.msc. See here. See here. Already domain controller and linked here. If you go to the within a domain, any domain controller you log in, you can able to see the same group policy, same OU structure, and the same object should be there. Every domain controller should be get replicated to within a domain. Now, how it is happening? This is a first way to validate to the all it is replicating properly or not. Especially group policy concept, how it is replicated. When we talk about the group policy replications, so always you need to say there is a sysvol folder update. There is a sysvol folder update. I'll just bring this topic to next in the top. Remember, any policy you created, okay, any policy you created, there is a unique number has been created automatically. Any policy you created, there is a unique ID, it will be going to created automatically. By default, we had a default domain control policy. There is a unique ID is created. Default domain policy, unique ID is created. Every policy, each policy, okay. If I'm in Chennai DC, if I'm going to create one more policy here, new, just say test group policy replications. Example. This is example. Now click OK. Now the moment you just empty policy you created, automatically there is a unique ID will be created. So how many policy you created in your domain, any of the domain controller, any policy you created, any of the domain controller within a domain, each policy it would create a unique number, unique ID. And the same unique ID folder will be created under the sysvol folder. Remember guys, this is how replication is going to happening. We need to validate its replication happening or not. Every domain controller has the default sysvol folder, which has the contain all group policy group policy, unique folder created automatically. Remember, each policy any policy created, there is a unique ID. There will be creating default unique ID. The same ID name folder will be created under sysvol folder. This is very much important, guys. This question will ask in interview, how the group policy will be replicated. What is the process of this? You should answer this. Now come back here, see that every domain controller by default, there is a sysvol folder. Go to the C colon Windows System 32. Okay, inside not System 32, there is a sysvol. Under Windows, there is a sysvol folder. Okay. See the sysvol folder. Under the sysvol, domain name, policies. See, there is a same unique folder will be created under the sysvol folder. See here. Now, how many policy are there now? Total, how many policies are there now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct? Right? Now, how many folders should be created now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just validate. I just created, which is one is test one. Right? Just refresh it. Okay, just see here. I just created under the Chennai DC, but is also get replicated to my Bangalore DC as well, right? Now you can see there is a just created sample. No, it is no configurations here. What is the unique folder name here? Which is 4C 7F9D, correct? Do we have the same number here folder? See, you have here 4CA 729BC A142. Is it? If I go to the all IT control panel, there is a unique ID 1A48. See that 1A48. See here. There was a default domain policy 31B. Now, parallelly, you can just see, I'm going to create one more policy here. Right click, new, okay, test 2 policy replications. The moment I hit OK, automatically the folder will create. You can see here. See, observed. Test 2 policy replications. A261 is unique ID. A26 is one unique ID. So now this is you have created a policy on one domain controller, and the folder has to be created under your local policy. Now, how do I verify that is replicated or not? Now you are talking about local, right? If you go to the Chennai DC, it also must have that is in folder, sysvol folder, C colon, Windows, sysvol folder, correct? Sysvol folder, correct? Can I see that is in the folder name here? All the 6-7 people are there, right? 1, 2, 3 can see there is a folder has been created.
So now they share the same folder, or it's a different folder, but that folder
same
will
folder,
be
same folder, same folder, same. You can see here and here it's the same folder. Okay, all should be the same folder, not different folder. Whatever the policy created, the unique ID is created, right? And the same ID should be created. I am taking from the Chennai DC. If you go to the DC one here, and you can just see the folder name should be same. See here. Do you see?
Can we restrict the replicating to other DCs?
No, you can't restrict because it's a default mechanism. Okay, but you can stop restriction from the site level to do not replications from these sysvol folder. But it is a risk for you if you do this. See here. And cannot be.
If we want to apply only for a Chennai.
Hi, you can apply the policy. You can. We are not talking about the applying the policy. We are talking about replication of the policy. You know, there is a two conflict here. You are asking question. You can restrict the policy for applying to anyone, but we are talking about replication of the policy. You cannot restrict it. It's a default mechanism.
Replication will be done to all the domain controller
Correct.
once we create a group policy.
Correct. But applying configure settings, what you have done, that will be applicable for the respective what your settings has been done in. Getting? Yes or no?
Yes.
So now you can see there is a changes here. But now question will be arising here. Why we are looking for the local domain controller sysvol folder? Right? Why we are looking for the local sysvol? What happens? Something the sysvol folder is deleted in the local. We must have the common all together behalf of domain. One central sysvol folder would be there, right? We don't want to look into the local, right?
Yeah.
Local domain controller. We must have that is in / domain name and / sysvol folder, correct? It should be the common for all the domain controller. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Now, this is what we need to check. When I go and see how many policies are there, the same policies number of unique folder must be there in the / your domain name is neil.edu / see the sysvol folder. You can access like that. Okay, it's a common for the domain with sysvol folder neil.edu policies. Then you can see that unique folders are there. Earlier you were accessing for C:\Windows, correct? Earlier you were accessing and check that is C:\Windows sysvol. This is a local domain controller, but here it's a central. All together, BF of all domain controller, it's one location showing here domain / sysvol folder policies. See, all the folder must be there. Remember, if one of the domain controller missing the sysvol folder and that domain controller has some replication issue, we need to check it. All the domain controller sysvol folder, whatever counts are there, it must be the same. Remember. And
So it will be replicate to this, I mean the /1 or first or local sysvol later mining.
By default, it would get the disk. It won't be taken. It should not be taking the local. It should be taking for central. So now what's happening? I'll tell you. There is a cases. Now think about there is a 200 policies are there, right? 200 policy created. And by default, you must have the all 200 folder, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? And some reason, if I go and see the another domain controller, they are showing 180. If you go and see the other domain controller, it's 180. Is that right way?
No.
No. So in this scenario, there is an issue with the Chennai domain controller or Hyderabad domain controller. I need to validate. Always remember, either you have to create a one script, a PowerShell script to validate, is that any changes in a sysvol folder of all the domain controller. Never be mismatch a number of count sysvol folder, unique folder in all the domain controllers within a domain. If it is a mismatching, something number is count, we need to check immediately. On that domain control has some issues, we need to validate and fix the issues. Clear?
What is the error? How does the system react when
Policy will
there is
not,
an issue with
policy will
the
not apply.
policies?
Say for example, now I said there is a 180, right? Now think about a specific policy you created, and the supposed to be apply the policy in Hyderabad IT. These people saying, hey, there's my policy I'm not getting. And you have checked that is in okay, all good. Why is not applying policy? That troubleshooting level, you see that folder itself is not there. And if the folder is not there, then policy will not be get updated. These people.
Can we
Right.
copy and paste folder here and then it will work?
No, don't create manual, sir. No. It is. If you create manually, that is your.
No, I mean not manually. So one means if I'm not finding that folder in this Hyderabad, I mean this area. So can I copy it from BSG?
No. Don't do that. Yeah, you can do it, but it should happen to automatic in a secure channel and mechanism. You have to fix the replications, not for the copying the folder. These are all default mechanism, right, sir? These are all automatic mechanism. I have not touched anything, right? Yes, you can do it later in all exercise, but it is not a best practice from the Microsoft. Getting?
Yeah.
Is it clear how you are going to see the replications of that? How do we validate the sysvol folder? How do we validate the group policy unique ID? It's clear?
Yes.
Do we get any error on the server since we are
Yes.
working as a system admin?
Yes.
So do we get any
Yes,
error on the system that this
you will see
this
the
is
logs, event log.
correct?
You will see the
Okay.
event log and you can validate it. Right? Basically, you can just check the group policy result, right? It will tell you that some issue within the group policy. And also you can go and see the event log. You will see the region policy is not applied in this. When you go and see the group policy result, right? You will have those details also. When you go to the main controller event log, right? You can go here and see this. You can go to the event log, and it must be a log generated, and it will tell you that what is the problem. That troubleshooting point of view must be validating that is in. Check the group policy result, check the group policy, I mean sysvol folder, unique folder count, everything we need to validate that. We'll be seeing this kind of logs. Right? You should always look into the error log. Okay, you can ignore the warning logs. Always look into the. You can do it like that. Right click here, filter, and select for the error and critical. And if you have any time to be checked, you can check that last 12 hours, last 14 hours. And if you have any specific event ID, you can add specific user or specific event ID, you can type it for the faster search. I don't see any of the error here. Getting? I have only for warning error. You can just see warning also. These are the warnings. So we can see this. Some replications linked to read-only domain parameters are failed. And with the help of the Google, we can find it and due to what reason and why it is happening, and we can troubleshoot accordingly. Clear? Good to go? One more
Yes.
important topic. Continue with this replications, right? This is another important here, definition files. Now, again,
so if you don't do that GP update force, how much time it will take to replicate?
60 minutes default. You have to wait 60 minutes. It means 1 hour. Default, you have to wait for 1 hour. Since it's a 15 minutes of the replications between the sides for the default replications time interval, it's at 180 minutes. For the replications, you have to minute for the refresh group policy refresh interval is 1 hour.
I have one more question. So at the end of the user, I mean the client also need to update the policy, or it will
Not
be
required. One side you have not required. Just say one where you have configured, where you updated, just update the GP group policy, GP update force. It should get
that we
updated.
don't need to apply on client.
No, not required. Okay. Because usually I said, right, if the user configuration related policy, if user already logged in, you must log off and log in first. Even though you run that GP update force, you won't be get the policy changes here, but you must log off and log in. Or you have to wait for the complete refreshment time. If it's a computer configuration, if the user computer already there, connected, powered on, then you must be reboot or restart the machine. Get affected policies. When you are in troubleshooting, the policy is not getting, and you have to go with this step. Just for the additional information. Okay.
Okay. So
what is the PowerShell command to check the replication status of the group policies?
We have discussed this is rapid main.
Okay.
You can see these are the commands are there. You can find it. These are all commands are there.
That same we discussed earlier, right?
Yeah, right. Rapid
Rapid show
call,
repl summary.
show REPL, because we are looking for
Yeah.
whichever domain controls are problem or something not there, right?
Oh.
Those
There is
are-
a special command for only to show the replication summary of the policies one.
Yeah, sysvol. Sorry, what is that you asking?
Yeah, is there any PowerShell command to see only the group policy applications?
No, you
Is there
can
any?
no, not group policy only. You can get that as in sysvol folder applications.
Okay.
Okay, that is the script will be available.
Okay.
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 Okay, let's just you can see, you will see that one script. Let me show you.
Okay.
There is a command would be there, or I think there will be a PowerShell script would be there. PowerShell script for group policy replications. We implemented in our project for the sysvol folder, which is number of folder should be count should be match. Okay. See that across domain. Check the GPO replications across your domain. Okay. Now there is a command get GPO name. If you see this command, one of the policy, you will see these are all detailed. See, there is all group member. These are all individual commands are there, but better you can check it.
Anil, in interview, if they will ask that what is the purpose of having this sysvol folder, then what our answer should be? To check the policies, or do you have any other?
By default, there is a sysvol folder created. There is a default mechanism when you are installing the domain controller, right? You must have observed there's a 3 folder would be. Okay. One is NT database, NTDS, C:\Windows, there's a 3 folder. One is C:\Windows, NTDS, and C:\Windows log, and C:\Windows sysvol. You observed this folder was created, right? And sysvol folder is a default a folder created during activity installation or domain control installation, and sysvol folder is made for only all in a group policy. Group policy. Whatever you created group policy, the unique folder will be created. Folder will be created in under sysvol. So we have to validate which policy has what is the unique ID, and that unique ID is updated or not. Okay.
Okay.
So these are little advanced, just making sure that is in to you should know something, right? Not for the basic level. Good to go?
Yeah, hi Neil. What is the difference between the group policy replications and the replications between the intrasite and intrasite?
See, replication between this is intrasite, everything is just, okay. It's not only taking about replications. When I talk about AD replications, is all. It's all, right?
Yes.
So it's all. It's including the group policy also, which is when we're talking about, there's a two-way. One is this is going to replicate for the within the site, and second is going to talk about between the site, right? And the name we call as a within a site, it is a
Intrasite.
Right? Within a site we called as a intrasite. Between the site we called as a intersite, right?
Yes.
That's the definition of that. And when you talk about the sysvol, right? Sysvol replication is specifically made for group policy. Okay, when we're talking about the group policy replications, we must talk about sysvol. We are not talking about here OU. We are not talking about object. We are not talking about groups.
Okay.
But here we will talk about only group policy, and obviously it is already covered in under this replication.
Replications, yes.
Clear?
Replications happening means all will be replicated.
Yes.
Maybe group policies
Yeah,
maybe,
it's user,
maybe domain
OU,
controls.
groups, yeah, all the domain controls, everyone must have replicated.
Oh.
But only which area, where they are replicating. Are there domain controls are within a site, then we are calling as a intrasite. Are there domain controls between the site, we are calling as intrasite. There's a definition.
Oh.
There's a situation, correct?
Okay.
Okay. Clear? Now there is one more important. Continue with this we are talking about, right? All sysvol folder and everything. We need to understand that is a definition file. What do you mean by definition file here? This is again question will ask in interview. Remember, so whatever we see the settings right here, if you see the one of the policy created, and if you go to the edit, you see that computer configuration, administrative template, all setting. How many settings are there? 2480 settings are there, correct? These are the configurations file, right? Getting me point? From where these are all coming? Policies. User configurations are 1781 settings. Where are these settings are coming from? These are all coming from, by default, there is a folder would be created under C:\Windows System 32. Remember, this is another important topic. How this all the settings or configurations are coming from where? Okay, System 32. There is a folder called as a under the group policy. not group policy, there is a policy definition. Okay, under this Windows, there is a folder called as a policy definition. Remember, you see this here, right? These are all by default template has been created. Default, when domain control is created, the policy definition folder would be automatically created. Under this, all the template would be created. These are the only template related your settings, your configurations. Now, if you see the control panel, right? Example, we have set it control panel here. Control panel, we said restricted, correct? Probability access restricted. Now, if you see, these are all detailed configurations coming from in this place. Where you go here, folder, definition file, you can just find the control panel here.
And Neil, suppose when we are working, there is a system admin like organization requirement about a policy, and that policy we are not able to that find in that this one definition files.
Perfect.
So
I'll come to that. Okay. Now you will be seeing the only default definition file, correct? These are the you're coming default policy configuration, right? You understand the first concept here, how these are all configurations are there, where they are is coming, right? And these definition files are made for the two format. Definition files are made for two format or extension, you can say. One is ADMX. One is ADMX file. Okay. Another one is, you see the ADMX, all the extensions are in ADMX only. Okay. Then under this folder, which is ENUS ADML file. So ADML is a language. Under the, okay, there's a two. So by default, all the group policy configuration comes from definition file, which is located in each domain controller, each DC, which is local called C:\Windows policy definition. Under this, we have a two type of file. One is ADMX file and ADML file. ADMX is a configuration file. Okay. Configuration file. ADML is a language file, which will be under the folder called as EU. Okay, EU. Now, whatever default policies are there, along with the operating system, along with the domain control install, we can see only default policy configurations, correct? Now the requirement come to you, organization specific related policy we want to deploy. Such scenario, you must download a specific required policy definition file. For example, I need a Chrome related, I need to custom Chrome related, right? Chrome related policy I want to implement. But if you go and see that in my default policy, do you see any Chrome related here? Do you see any Chrome related here?
No.
But I want to implement in my organization for the Chrome related policy, which is the organization requirement. Someone asked question, right?
Yeah, I have seen that Chrome is blocked in incognito mode for most of the organizations.
Correct. Obviously. So now we want to first bring that Chrome related Chrome related policy, right? First you need to bring it. Then you need to restrict it. Whatever you want, you can do it, right? Obviously, we have the lot of policies are there here, settings are there. You do whatever you want, right? Get my point? Let's bring those information here, no? Then only you can do whatever you want. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, such scenario, what you want to do, you have to download the, and any software developed, right? Not only Chrome, any other third party applications, okay? Third party applications deployed in your organizations, okay? And those vendor must be provided. What is that? What is that? If they want to manage their applications by using group policy, provided ADML file and ADMX file. Remember, guys, if anyone third party developed and implemented in our environment, this can be managed by using group policy and must be provided ADML file and ADMX file, or it should be available in Google to download it, or must be available in Google to download it. Like, MS Office related, right? Chrome related, any other third party, whichever you want to manage from group policy, it must be available in Google, or it must be provided by vendor. Is this clear? Let's take an example now for the Chrome. Now it is already available, right? Let's go to the Google, ask Chrome ADMX file download template. Okay, you can ask Google to ADMX file, configure Google Chrome settings group policy. Okay, download. Can be getting or not? Let's see here. Okay. Sometime we need to Chrome browser. Always you should go to the Microsoft portal. Okay, you should be able to get downloaded.
check this in Chromium or .org.
Can you ping me? I think it should be there here. Okay, you can see this. You got it? Just ping me the link. Someone you got it? It's downloading. Okay. I think I have already downloaded. Let's see this. It's downloading. Let me check.
Share this in group.
Group? No, ping here, no? In this chat. Possible? I think I missed it somewhere. Okay, I can see this. It must be there here. It must be in a Chrome portal only. So to bring the Chrome portal only. Here you can get it. Okay, you can see here. You got it. We got the Chrome template, right? Now what you can do, copy this, put into the your C colon Windows. C colon Windows. Policy definition. First, what you can do, you can put it here some other location, then you can extract it, then you can put the file there. Okay. I can say Chrome here. Chrome. Paste it. Not this. Let's wait for a few seconds. Who are the good administrator who know the group policies concept, he should be able to handle, because this kind of activity it would be handling by L3 only, but you should also aware about how it's going to happen, how the actual group policies mechanism works, or the default setting conflicts where it is coming, right? If I need additional organization requirement to bring that, and you have to follow the same step. I'm showing you one of the example called as a Chrome, and you have to download it and copy in one of the folder and take that their ADMX file and ADML file and copy into the your local, and then see that is the settings are coming or not. If it is coming, then you can configure it. Then we'll talk about the other applications concept, how it is getting updated to the other domain controller. We will see this.
So this file was is only for the Chrome, and what if so it is for can you get for all the third party application?
No, how do all the third party, how do you get to know that is requirement only, right?
Requirement only. So every software, I mean every that app, they create their this kind of file.
You want to manage by using group policy.
Yeah.
Third party applications, vendor must be provided ADML and ADML file, or must be available in Google. When you want to manage, from group policy to manage.
Okay.
Application access, right? Application access from group policy. Otherwise, no point, right? Group policy you want to.
Did you use in your career?
Yeah, we used it. Many.
Which applications? I mean,
we have that in internal applications which we used. There is a payroll portal, we used it, which is specific restriction people will be accessible, and some product-based policy, product-based applications we used it, which is configurations location-based. Okay, let me just stop. You must require, if you want to manage those kind of configurations by using group policy, then it must be required definition files. Otherwise, you don't. Example, Chrome, right? So Chrome, I'm showing you. By default, we don't see that any of the settings, right? You can see here. Right? Now, how do I bring the Chrome here? You have downloaded and you copied here. Right? Let's see. Right click here. I'm going to extract all here. Okay. Extract here. Okay, there's a folder has been created here. This is a process, same process you have to follow. There are no changes, anything, any of the application. Now you can see here, under this policy folder, go to the Windows. Okay, there is the ADMX file. Okay, there's the ADMX file. You can see there's a Chrome ADMX, correct? Copy this Chrome ADMX to where? In
Policy destination folder.
Policy definition folder. Go to the Windows definition file, policy definition. Okay, policy definitions, and paste it. Done. ADMX copied. Then go back again, one more file called language file, correct? Which is, you need to open this ADMX. You can open the language file called as a English, right? EN-US. Do you see EN-US here?
It's on the top.
Yeah, you can say second one. Take that Chrome ADML. Copy this. Come back here. Open this EN-US and paste it here. Right? Chrome ADML and ADMX file you copied in your local, right? Now come back here in a policy, right? Just refresh it or open once again. Close this. And come back this policy. Okay, refresh it once again here. Go to the group policy object. Go to one of the policy here. Edit. Policy. Administration template. Do you see the Chrome here? Do you see the Chrome here?
Yeah.
Both user configurations and computer configuration. See that Google Chrome. See the Google Chrome. Now you can able to manage. See that all the configurations by default are there. Can be manageable now.
Yeah.
Now you find whichever setting you needed, which is computer literacy here. All the settings are available specifically Chrome. Now the question will be arising. Is this clear before I moving to the continue with this topic?
Yes.
Now, just understand here. Now I have copied this definition file into the DC1, correct? I have copied this definition file and I am going to configuring now. Does this policy will be replicated to the other domain controller now? If I go and see the Chennai domain controller, can I see the Chrome policy here? Can I see the policy, this Chrome related policy here?
No.
If you create a policy in GPO and then if you apply it to domain, then definitely it will show.
No. Leave it creating and applying.
It will not show. Okay.
Let's see the settings, right? Let's see the settings is there or not. Do you see the settings here? Chrome related. Do you see the Chrome related settings here? No,
No.
right? Why?
No.
Why?
So we paste that in locally, I think.
Perfect. Okay, because we have copied in a local C Windows policy definition in this domain controller, right? And also you just observe DC1 administrative template policy definition ADMX file retrieved from the local computer. See, in organization it must be retrieved from the central. It should show central, right? Getting my point? And if you go to the Chennai location, you can see again administration template policy definitions are coming from retry from local only. It should not be, right? Now, how do we bring centrally all the configuration file? What you need to do, you have to which is the updated definition file folder, which is the updated one policy definition folder. You must copy to where? Copy this folder. Copy this folder to your sysvol folder. See, which is /nil.edu sysvol nil.edu policies and paste it here.
So every time we have to
No,
update it.
not every time. Whatever you want to do, you can do it here only. Don't copy into the local. Next time, when you download any of the files, right, you need to paste it here in this place. Don't go to the local. If you go to the local, that policy will be applied on your policy will be getting into the that domain control policy. You won't be able to centrally, correct?
Yeah, right.
Now you want to any downloaded file, you can go to this place and put into paste here and put it language file here. Now I have already taken the Chrome, and I have taken the Chrome. Now I put into the centrally here. Now you can go back and see your group policy settings coming, or just refresh it here. This policy, this is important, guys. Okay, just concentrate. And you don't find this kind of explanation in a YouTube. You find it. Trust me. Okay. Exit. Open again. GPMC.msc. Refresh it. Right. Now it must show your policy retrying from the centrally. Policies, administration template. See here. See. This is how the organization should be configured. Never be a ADMX file retrieved from the local. It must be always central. Now you can go back and see Chennai DC. I have not copied the local, right? So now it must be C that is in your Chrome related. See here. Close this and reopen it. I'm in Chennai domain control, right? Now come back here, refresh it. Any policy, if you try to open, you will be able to see this central from the retrain from the central.
I have one confusion, like sys folder. So there are two sys folder created. One is on local and one is central one.
Correct.
And what is the location of central one?
The domain only, no? The same only, which is domain sysvol folder. See here, it's coming now central. You can't see the Chrome, right? Okay, the sysvol folder is the same path only we went, right? There is a path here. Domain / domain. This is the central one. / neil.edu, which is domain name sysvol. This is central. This is the
Where
central.
okay,
Here
where
it is.
it is in network something.
Yeah, not network. You can just / the domain name. Always you can / domain name / it will come automatic. Getting?
I mean, I'm not getting. So it's a exact location like C/Windows, then some folder.
That is local. That is local.
And the centrally somewhere stored now. It is stored in system only, na? I mean.
It should be stored center, but it's coming from the database, AD database. It is coming from the AD database.
And where it is stored in NTDS setting or what?
Yeah, I mean, correct. That we'll talk about later. That is how you have all the transactions happen, right? That will be in and the neil.edu is the entire domain, right here.
All right.
So that's a database. It will be understand that instead of you taking the local folder, take that common one center, then it will be updated. Getting?
Yeah, thank you.
So now you understood this sysvol folder, you understood the policies are coming from the central. Now if you go and see the Chennai location, see this is retrieved from the central store and you can able to see the Chrome, correct? Now you can configure whatever you want, you can do it, right?
Okay, sorry, one more confusion. Like
Go ahead, don't hesitate. Go ahead.
I have created a policy like we have to change the wallpaper. Now again, my company has changed some logos and they want to do the new thing. I mean, they want a solid color wallpaper.
Get the image, no? Get the image and
We get the image. So we had created first policy, then we will have created the second policy. Which one will be applied?
No. Don't create multiple policy, no. No. So
first I will have to delete the
no. Don't delete anything. Okay. Otherwise it will be conflicting with your register setting. I'll tell you how you want to do. So wallpaper you are talking about. You have now old wallpaper, which is the old image, right? Right?
Yeah.
The company is asking you again. There is a new image, new wallpaper. There's a new image, correct? Whatever that settings they are asking for the resolution and all, correct? So don't change the policy or anything. Just change the image. Just copy that image to the share path what you created. That's all. So that automatically don't create a new policy. Don't create a rename it at old. Don't delete the policy. Policy name would be same. Okay, right? Policy name must be same. Already it is there, right? And only you need to change the image. Instead of that, you can just double click. That is something you have given the DC1 / right wallpaper. Okay, / there is a new image. Only go to your policy setting and just change this path. That's all. You don't need to create anything. Automatically it should get the new image. Yes or no?
Okay.
Why you want to create a new policy again, right? It will be again old policy. Sometimes the policy is already cached, then it will be applicable for applied for the old policy. Again, it will be big difficult to manage it. Which policy is going to take and which policy is not taking.
Okay, I have one more question. Means, do we need to enter into the domain controller to do this all practice, or I mean, the domain admin can provide some roles so that we can manage it through our client machine as well, this group policy management and all. Is there any way, I mean, how it works in real time? real world.
I didn't get you. What is that requirement? What is that you're talking
I mean,
about?
man, like you are the domain administrator who is taking care of everything,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
you just want to, give me the role to apply this GP only.
Yeah.
So, do I need to log in
Yeah,
every
delegate
time
it,
in
no?
the domain?
Delegate it. Delegate it.
Okay.
You need to delegate it. You can give him the access when he logged in, when user logged in on his computer, not in a domain control also, or domain control also, or computer, or DC. Then when you logged in, you must have only access to create and link the policy. That's all. Delegate it.
Okay, so we get that group policy management console in my machine.
Yes. You will not get directly managed. You need to open the GPMC.msc.
Yeah, GP.
Yeah. Now, say for example, I'll show you client, right? Let me open this. Okay, before we talk about, anybody has any question this? All good. Understood today concept? Yes.
Yes.
I'm yeah, sorry, go ahead. Someone shared something. I'm logging to the local the domain user, okay? Correct?
Yeah.
I have changed a password 1, 2, 3. So now, since I have installed RSite tool, and I should be able to have a read access, correct?
Yeah.
GPMC I can able to see this, but if I try to creating, I don't have access. Correct? Now go back here. GPMC.msc. I can see I have all the read access, but I don't have access to create a policy. Correct? I think I have not included this installation, right? Okay, what you need to do? Log out. I have not included the group policy also, but I will include only the tools. So what you need to do, you have to go back to the RSite and enable that in group policy console also.
Neil, I told you that I recently joined British Council. So there they have given us the admin access, like we are logging to the server through RDP.
Very good.
And there I have checked all my company, how many forests are there and how many domain controls. I have checked everything.
Perfect. So
it gives me a brief idea that how my organization structure is.
Exactly. That's all, guys. My job. That's your job now, right? So now you got the roadmap, right? Directions you got it. So you have got a lot of confidence. Okay, these are the informations we got now, right? So these are all things to be understood. This is what I can experience, and something even in fact, existing people doesn't have some information. You will have a lot of information, right? Now you can see how many policies are there, or how their policies has been created. Now you can go and check it, and what is the policies are coming from there. How many definitions files are there, and what are the group policies? These all folders are there. How many policies are created? What kind of policy they have created? And any P1 ticket, something occurred, and you must have all the information. Because you know that all entire infrastructure you have already gone through, correct?
Yes, Neil.
Yeah. This is what we have to do. Okay, just I'll show you later for this, maybe tomorrow, because this is just only, you will have that options. You can say, let me just show you. Okay, here. features, right? You can select. I have not selected for the group policy. That's what you won't be able to see here. So you need to select this RSAT. You can see here, right? ADDS. You can see this one. Okay. Okay. Just log out this. Log in. No, L1 activity you have given some delegated, right? By default, he will be able to read the access GPMC.MSC, but doesn't have any access. But you can delegate the access from the domain side, then he will be able to do only the limited access. Okay, we can just go to the GPMC.MSC. Right? See here. And when you try to create a policy, do we have any access? Let's see this. So I click here. See.
Yeah, right. But if I want to give him that that he can add the policy and then
delegate it. I said no. How do you do that? Go to this.
User.
Go here. Okay. So where you want to delegate him? Example. Right click. Okay. What you want to do? Only you want to do the entire. You can just say right click here. Delegate control. Okay. Next, which user you want to add?
You are doing this for the whole domain.
Yeah, for the testing purpose. Which one you want? You want to do only BNG?
Yeah.
Okay. So where you want to do that, there you need to right click it. Okay.
Okay.
Now you can see here, manage group policy link. Okay.
Okay.
And some can say generate result.
So he
Group
can,
policy.
the user can do all these things. User function.
Yes, let's see this. Okay. And finish it. Earlier I was not able to do, right? Now I give the delegated, correct? Now log off this machine. Log in again. I'm in client machine. Okay. I'm in client machine.
Yeah.
And log into the domain user. This user doesn't have much access, right? So limited access, GPMC.msc. Earlier I was not able to accessing for the create a policy, correct? Where you want to create a policy? BNG, right?
Yeah, right.
Right click. Okay, you don't have here, but you can just create a policy. Still not updated. Okay, you have to just reboot once. Just reboot. It should get updated.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll check tomorrow. We'll reboot and we'll see this. It must be updated.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so now this is the way we need to do, and we should be getting delegated access for us to what they have provided us. Okay. Now the last topic is software installation. It's a simple actually. So basically you want to go with the software installation from the group policy. There is a limitation. Okay. It means it won't install all the extension. Extension means what? EXE extension, correct? If you want to do for that is in group policy using group policy software installation, it must be a MSI package. Say for example, you want to install a WinZip and it won't take it in a .exe file, setup file. .exe it won't work. It won't work by using group policy, but it will work. It will work only MSI package. So what do you mean by MSI? We need to download it. For example, okay, WinZip MSI download. Okay, you will see that MSI format also will turn it. Download WinZip free, which is MSI. Okay, see there's a .exe, not .exe. Okay, not for .exe. You can see this.
What is free?
WinZip, this is just a GIF folder, no?
Yeah, wait, but
I can't hear. Can you please speak louder?
what is this WinZip? WinZip is the software, na?
WinZip software. It is just for the GIF folder. To just small folder, I wanted to show you how it is going to install it. Don't take the bigger file. It is not recommended to install the software by using group policy for the bigger file.
I think
Yes.
it will not be also not recommended, right? Like
Yeah,
we want
see,
to
it's
install
just
Office application. And all.
yeah. Nowadays we have that all SSAM and deployment software would be there specifically to 100 people, 100 user, 100 machines can be installed one time. But those kind of bulk not recommended by using group policy. Okay, where is it? My MSI, WinZip MSI download. I would need MSI, not for exe.
You can take it for Google Chrome.
MSI, yeah, anything you can take it is a MSI. Do you have MSI Google Chrome? Let's see this. Also there. There one link is there actually they were giving for all the extension. Where is it? Is on winzip.com. Okay. It should be there in this all the list of. Yeah, you can see here. This is all exe only, right? See here. This is MSI, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. WinZip .exe .exe .exe. Okay. I would need for only MSI. Okay. Take this MSI only. Okay, this you can take it. This is command line based. We don't need this. Just 24. Let's take it for testing purpose. Okay. If you take exe, it won't work. How do you install this? You can just see. Okay, otherwise you should right click here, properties. Okay, it's MSI, correct? And what you want to do, copy this and go to the domain controller. You can put the folder here, WinZip software install. Okay. Paste it. So what you need to do, you have to share this folder. Okay, which is MSI package we have. We can save this folder. Okay, so what you need to do, copy this, take the complete path, slash, this complete path you need to take. Okay, copy, then come back to the group policy here, create a group policy, new. Okay, give the name called WinZip software installation. You need to go to the edit. Here it is a software installation can be done, computer configuration and user configuration. You want to have a user interaction, then you have to go with the user configuration. You don't want to user intervention directly install the software, then you have to go with the computer configuration. Go to the policies, software setting, computer configuration, software installation, right click here, new, there's a package. I don't want user intervention, let's automatically install it. So you need to give the path here for the network path. Copy. Okay. So select this MSI package, open it. So you need to assign it. Select these options to assign the applications without modification. If you want to do some additional modifications you want to later, then you can select for the advanced. Okay. Select the assign, click OK. Okay, it is there. Now you want to link to whom? You want to link to whom this, or you want to directly entire domain? All the computers must be installed. Okay. So now you can link this directly domain, link existing GPO. Okay, WinZip. So it all domain controller must be installed. Now do that, run Windows GP update force. Now as I said, computer configurations you must be rebooted and user configuration must be log off. So now it's going to process now. Your policy is going to be deployed. You see that group policy side extension software installation was unable to apply. One also between change must be proceed before system startup. See here, you must log in, you must restart the machines, then only it will apply. Okay, it's asking you to reboot it, right? Let's say yes, and also you can reboot this once again. This client machine also you can reboot it. Okay. So without user intervention, you need to reboot the ones. Then you can go and see that is in. Getting my point? come back here and you can log in this. Okay. Since it's a computer policy, you can log in any user. It must be there in the software. Oh, we have restricted for the control panel, right? Remember, that's what you're not able to, but it must be see the software here. The WinG folder must be installed here now. See, no, this is software copied right here. See here, installed here. See, getting?
Yeah.
It's already installed here. Right? It's installation file, correct? And if you go to the client machine also, you just remove this. You should be able to see this. Okay. We have restricted this control panel, right?